So we are 7 days away from the premiere of our episode on the new Buy It Now game show hosted by Amazon, and we are super excited. And we thought we'd share a little bit of behind the scenes with you guys leading up to it. So enjoy. I got the phone call. I let it go to voicemail. The voicemail was a producer saying that they had an opportunity and they saw us, I don't even know, social media. They wanted to learn more about StackTrax for a new potential game show. So I deleted it right away and I was like, ugh. I mean, we get these calls, a lot of spam. So I remember that night telling Anthony that I got a call. It's like, why did you delete it? Why aren't you responding?
I'm always one who just says, go after it, go for it. What's the worst that can happen? Lindsay has a little bit more of that reservedness to her where she doesn't want to just do something for nothing.
I don't want to waste our time.
That's exactly right. And for the most part, she's right, which is why I get stuck in a lot of hard situations. But in any event,
we hopped on a Zoom call. She was super nice. She didn't tell us a lot about the show. She did say it was Amazon, which is what caught our ears. So the interview went well. She really liked us. She liked our product, and she wanted to move us to the next level of interview. I think this was in November of 2022. No, sorry, 2023. We ended up going through like 5 interviews with different producers. After that first interview, we had to quickly, within 48 hours, come up with a 90-second pitch for our product. So we did that. We sent it in and they loved it. So we got moved to the next stage, which was like 100 pages of like background check, business check, all of the details, which we had because, and we've never told anyone this, but we actually made it to the final round of Shark Tank the year prior. Literally right before we were about to fly out and shoot, we got cut. So we had made it all the way to the final round, filled out all the paperwork. So we had all of the paperwork ready to go, which saved us a lot of time.
Yeah.
I feel like we got moved to the next stage a couple different times. Remember we had to shut down like all of our social medias or do something. It was really intense. And this was like December and they're like, well, you'll hear from us in a couple weeks. And then it was like ghost town. We didn't hear from them and we were like, all right, well.
And that's the other stage that you find whenever you put yourself into a casting call for anything. There's a lot of waiting, because I had this happen with the men's health show, the Next Top Trainer. I was putting monkey bread in my mouth in the middle of getting a phone call because I thought I wasn't getting on. And
so you're like, screw it.
So I said I was like, screw it. And then when they called, I literally dropped the plate. And that's kind of what was happening here, is that they're like, oh, if you don't hear from us on this date, and it was something like you didn't make it. So that day came and it went, and it was just like this. Again,
we didn't make it.
And probably a week later, we got a call from them, and all of a sudden we're like, wait, what? We thought if we didn't hear from you, we were not getting through. But that completely changed. And this was
February, so we first applied in like late October and November, and then waited a couple months, and then we didn't hear back from them until February. And they were like, all right, so can you fly out to California in 2 weeks? And we're like, oh my goodness.
So then they said we needed to do a pitch to practice our pitch. So now we're on it, and now we needed to practice this pitch.
It's like we weren't really sure what the show was still. Like we didn't know it was a game show. We didn't know much about it. We practiced our 90-second pitch, sent it to the producers. They tweaked a little bit. They loved our banter, so you'll see a lot of banter on the show. We were flying out within 2 weeks. And then it got really interesting because we were in a hotel, at 5 a.m.?
Yeah.
And a Mercedes van pulled up with like tinted windows. It was like sketchy.
It was sketchy. We didn't know what we were looking for. They just said meet everybody down in the lobby at a certain time, get into this vehicle, make sure you have your license on you.
Yeah. But we get into the vehicle and there was, I don't know if it was it was just a crew member, and she was like, so no talking to each other. You can't talk to other contestants. There was about, 6 other people. And they were like, you cannot talk to anybody from now, for the rest of the day. You're gonna stay in your room. When you get there, the producers will come into the room and tell you more information about the show. So we're like, okay.
Yeah, it was real at that point.
Yeah.
And then what's funny is when you think it's real, it actually gets more real when you actually have to go through the security gate, and then all of a sudden you see this Amazon studio.
It's super cool.
Really sweet, right? So you see these studios, you're in LA, and then all of a sudden you get onto set, right? And so now they get our information, making sure we're legit on it, like with all of our license, all that information. And it is just like silent. We don't know if we should talk, if we're not. And then we're all in a room and we're all just sitting there, kind of feeling awkward. And then at this stage, we still didn't know what this whole show was all about.
We had like 5 pairs of clothes because we had to submit what we were going to wear for the...
Yeah, so everyone's wearing different outfits or having different outfits with them.
And then a couple producers walk in and they explain that it's a game show. And they said, this is a new Amazon game show called Buy It Now.
Drop the mic. It's a game show.
It's a game show. We had no idea it was a game show. And they described the rules. And then they told us who the panelists were going to be. They said there's going to be 100 people in the audience, and you have to pitch your product in front of them. If they like it, 10%, so 10 out of the 100 have to like it for you to move on to the panelists. And if 2 out of the 3 judges liked your product, you get put onto what's called the Buy It Now store, which is an exclusive store on Amazon. So they announced the 3 judges, and our celebrity judge was Tony Hawk. So super cool to meet him. Jamie Siminoff, the owner or the inventor of the ring, and
Ding dong.
and then Jenny Freshwater, who is the VP of Beauty and Fitness for Amazon.
They dropped the mic that it was a game show, and then they dropped another mic saying that the winning business not only gets to get on Buy It Now store, right? But they also win $20,000.
Yep.
Which was like, wait a second. There's
I was like,
okay,
money. now game on. Game on.
We're about to win
our
some money.
competitor face came on.
So we're looking around, and now it's like cutthroat. So that was kind of like what it really started getting to.
We were sizing everybody
up.
Just
sizing everyone
what's
up.
Your
like,
product?
What's your product? Why does your product suck?
Right? No, we had some pretty awesome.
No, we had awesome people. It was really cool. But yes, at that moment after we did it, they were like, all right, you guys have to go hair and makeup, and then when you're on, you got to be ready to go.
We had 10 minutes to practice our pitch, and they showed us, they built a set for us. It was really cute. It was like a little living room set. And
cute.
Yeah, they literally timed us. It was nerve-wracking because like there were people, it was backstage, and people were like moving things around and, asking us questions. I at least felt like I was like a movie star. It was pretty cool.
We kind of were. Yeah. No, it was like a legit studio.
Yeah.
The studio was the same sound studio that The Sound of Music.
Oh, really?
Wasn't it The Sound of Music?
Oh, I don't know.
It was one of those famous shows on the Culver City studio.
That's not a show, that's a movie.
Well, movie. But in any event, yes, we had to go check out our set. It was sick. It was
very rushed. We were the first one. So after that, they rushed us, I think, back to hair and makeup to finish. Mm-hmm. And then we went in for interviews. We'll hear a lot of banter back and forth. They definitely encourage banter. God, I don't even remember what we said. We were both so nervous, and we did the interviews. And then in the middle of the interview, they were like, all right, you guys are on. You guys got to come with us. And we were like, wait, what? And we stepped on that stage, and we pitched our 90-second pitch. We're not going to tell you what happened because we want you guys to go see the show. Mm-hmm. So on December 11th, our show will be live and streaming on Prime Video. So go check out, mark your calendars to see, did we win the $20,000? Did we make it to the Buy It Now store? Obviously.
Or did we just get kicked off stage because we were horrible?
Or did we get booed off stage?
Sad moment.
But no, it was a really cool experience, and you'll get to hear our story. I think what's funny is like a lot of people, a lot of our followers, and even our customers don't know that it's just Anthony and I that run the business, and we've worked really hard to get to where we are. We hope you love our story, and thank you guys so much for your support. We couldn't have done this without you, and we're excited to keep growing with you.
Keep on keeping on, and just know that every package that we send out to you, whether you have purchased a StackTrax or are about to, when you go buy it now maybe, is packaged up with love. So go check it out. We're glad to see you do it.
Buy it now.